All right, then welcome back. Still Breakfast Central on News Central. Don't forget you can join the discussion right here with us using the hashtag NC Breakfast Central on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can also watch us live on on our website, newscentral.africa. Well, then let's go straight to more of an impact on our discourse today, as it is still International Day for the Elimination of Violence against Women. Now, the day is set aside by the United Nations to campaign against domestic and other violence against the women, which manifests in physical, sexual, and psychological forms through battering, psychological abuse, rape, femicide, sexual harassment, and human trafficking. Now, violence against women and girls is one of the most widespread and devastating human rights violations around the world. It remains largely unreported due to the impunity, silence, stigma, and shame surrounding it. Now, the adverse psychological and sexual and reproductive health consequences of violence against women affect women of all ages and stages of their lives. Like we see, the early set educational disadvantages not only represent the primary obstacle to universal schooling and the right of the education of a girl child, down the line they are also blamed for restricting access to higher education and even translate into limited opportunities for women in the labor market. Now, across Africa and globally, violence against women continues to be the obstacle to achieving equality, development, peace, as well as the fulfillment of women and girls' human rights. Now, joining me to discuss this, we're joined by Olayemi Akinpelu from Youth Empowerment and Development Initiative, that's YEDI, who will talk to us about this one, because it's a big day, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. It's a day set aside by the United Nations, but from your experience on this day, what are the programs that we have to watch out for across the world that to really chime this theme of eradicating violence against women in all parts of the world? Okay,
I would like to say that violence against women, there are so many programs going on, like Youth Empowerment and Development Initiative sets up a program for girls.
And that's your organization.
Okay, so there's a program for girls, not just girls, for both boys and girls, so that we'll be able to bridge the gap between boys and girls, because oftentimes people carried out program to sensitize or create awareness or to educate women only, but leaving the guys behind, not knowing that without the guys, we can't really eliminate sexual violence against women. So we have to
all forms of violence against women generally.
Yes, all forms of violence. So we have to educate both male and female. So there are so many programs going on around the world. We have there's an organization called the DSVRT. Okay. So these are the people that take up cases to provide medical support, legal support, and other support for young people.
But from being with YEDI for now, the policies and social enlightenment programs, have you seen any that are being put in place to really discourage violence against girls, particularly in the country? What policies can you point out that these are really working, especially in Nigeria?
Okay, I would say for VAP, that's Violence Against People Prohibition Act. Okay, so this is a policy or a law set out to bring down the offenders to justice. Okay, and people really need to be aware of this act so that they will know their rights. And also in Lagos State, we have the DSVRT, like I said, we have the child rights. Then Lagos State also sets up like a youth-friendly center for young people. We call it the Hello Lagos Center. Okay, where young people come in to be able to speak freely, access the center, and also talk to someone, speak out, talk to a counselor, to be able to share their challenges, their issues with them, and they'll be able to help out. So these are the policies that are very good that are being put in place.
Well, but what are we saying is being done when it comes to men in terms of enlightenment or perhaps reorientation to see the rights of women as a basic human rights too?
Okay.
What's been done?
Okay.
Because it looks like if there's this perception, like
yes, yes.
a culture of
cultural backgrounds and all that.
That basically the women don't have rights. As a man, you can do what you want. So violence against women, whether it's sexual violence or any form of abuse, just goes, and it happens. It has to be transferred from the male to the female, if not vice versa. And so what's going to be done to make men see that women have got rights, not just human rights, and the rights of women are also part of human rights, just to say the same way a man also has his rights too.
Okay, we actually need the support of the men to be able to end this gender violence against women.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we do at YEDI. We call it gender equality. Okay, men need to understand that both male and female, they have a role to play. They have a part to play in a relationship, at home, or everywhere. Okay, so we need to orientate people, change their mindset to some harmful gender expectation. For instance, a male believes that I don't need to help out, or I need to beat a lady whenever she offends me in a way and all that. So we need to educate them to know that you don't really have to hit someone before you pass a message. Okay, so they need to understand that. So we need to educate people all over the world. There needs to be like support from the government, okay, to like fund program to educate people around the world, especially in Nigeria.
Well, we know that today is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. So you're from the Youth Empowerment Development Initiative. Well, what's being done? Because not many people know that today, 25th November, is the day for the elimination of violence against women. So awareness-wise, how is it going?
Okay, what we do is, like I said before, we have a program called the Skills Girls Program and the Skills Guys Program. This program is set to be able to build up young people's assets with the rightful information to make informed decisions, and also to facilitate their access to health services.
But what about schools? Because
that's where I'm going. I'm talking about the
awareness of this day.
So this program is set. So what we do is that we go to schools. We have volunteers, which are called coaches. So they go to school to educate these people. They spend a period of 10 days. They spend a period of 10 days with these children to orientate them, educate them to make informed decision, and also to have a behavioral change in their lifestyles. So this program is set aside. We go to school. We have different schools all across the state, not just in Lagos State, in Ogun State, Akwa Ibom, and Abuja. So these volunteers go to school to educate them and also make them to have informed decisions. So these are the program being put in. We are not leaving the guys out, because we also have a program for guys. This one of the curriculum or the topics in the curriculum that we talk about is staying in control, how to control your anger as a guy. Okay, so and how to make the rightful decision. Okay, how to have a healthy relationship. Okay, and also for the girls, we have how to say no to sex. Okay, how to speak out. Okay, when you're in the midst of a situation and you don't know what to do, or you've been raped and you don't know who to tell, you have to speak out, because we make them believe that any violence made against you is not your fault. Okay, so because people often sit back, they don't want to speak out, because they believe, especially women, we believe that it's our fault. Okay, it's because of the way we speak to the guy. That's why he beats me.
It's the way you dress. That's why you were raped. Because of this, that's why you got that.
Yes. So what we do is that we educate them and make them understand that rape or violence is not your fault. So you need to speak out. You don't have to die in silence, because speaking out, number one thing, you get medical attention when it comes to rape. Then for psychological support, you get counseling from people, because if you don't speak it out, then you die in silence. Some people go with it over, and when it gets to when they are married in life, and they tend to bringing that past into their future. So this is what we do to help children. And it's not just in school, we also meet the out of school. We go into communities to educate them on sexual violence against women.
Wow, it's not just sexual violence, because the violence it ranges from
violence,
battering, beating, rape, harassment, you know, of different sorts of harassment. So many that really goes on, and that's why it's important that we have this day to really focus on the violence, all forms of violence against women. So it looks like basically the crime is being a woman, you know, and to be on the receiving end of any form of violence. But you're a woman. Any personal experiences?
Okay, for me,
because you're doing this, championing this work with YEDI, so if you can share with us, you know, an experience, you know, of perhaps violence, maybe not directly or indirectly, and why you're really championing this.
Okay, we understood the gap that girls, especially females, are being taken for granted, and this has to be maybe some sort of economic power and all that. So we tend to oversee this aspect and see it like a challenge, and we need to sort it out in one way or the other. And we notice that most girls are being taken for granted, like I said, and some of them are being molested due to their age, or they don't have money to do some things, you get, so they take advantage of them. So we notice that girls are more vulnerable than boys. So, and that is why this program is being set up. For me personally, I've experienced violence in one way or the other, and harassment and all. So it bothers my heart to see when people don't have the power to do something or to change something.
Your experience, what did you do? What happened?
Okay, so I'll say, okay, from my organization, from our side, okay, so we've handled so many cases, and during our program, because before I became a staff in YEDI, I was once a volunteer, a coach. So I've been opportune to meet a lot of young people, and during our discussion, most of them speak out. Okay. So there was a girl who was molested at the age of 6. Okay, and the mother knew about it, and the mother, due to shame and she doesn't want people to know, so she just allowed it to lie down. But it kept on disturbing her, which even made her to be addicted to sex. Wow. Okay, so she had to speak out that she wants to stop. How can I help her? Another. So we had to take her through a series of counseling. We had to get help from professionals, counselors. Okay, they were able to help out. Okay, and this is just one out of many that were able to help out.
All right, but before we leave on this International Day on the Elimination of Women, you know, being a woman in YEDI, what do you think about, you know, men, you know, championing these causes, not rather than women, but perhaps men leading the charge alongside women for the to end violence against women?
Okay, I want our men to understand that the first thing that happens to you as a man is that you were conceived by a woman. Okay, so every woman should be treated rightly, and every woman should be treated with respect. Okay, so we need to put everyone into our shoes, because you're not in the situation, so you don't know how it feels. So we need to like put ourselves into the shoes of women and take the lead. Okay, help us. Okay, to fight against this habit. If you see any maybe your friends or planning something against a lady or something, just discourage the person from doing such. I think it will go a long way.
Well, thank you so much, Yemi, from Youth Empowerment Development Initiative of Breakfast Central on News Central. Right then, still the day, 25th November 2019, International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women.